Chosen one. In a world that rarely understands your heart, in a world that often judges what it cannot see, you have been walking a path few can even imagine. A path filled with unseen struggles, quiet battles, and moments where it felt like everything was against you. Yet, despite the hardships, despite the silence, despite the trials that tested every part of your faith, you did not break. You remained steadfast, and you passed a major test. A test so profound that most would never even recognize it. And now, Allah is rewarding you in ways the world cannot measure, in ways only your soul can feel. Every tear you held back, every prayer whispered in the dark, every moment of patience and surrender has been seen by the one who never misses a thing. Today, we are going to uncover 7 powerful lessons that will illuminate why your trials were never in vain, why your struggles were shaping a destiny only Allah could design, and why your reward is already flowing, even if you cannot yet see it. This is your reminder, chosen one. What you endured was not for nothing, and the divine King himself is elevating you in ways beyond imagination. Sit with me, open your heart, and let this message awaken the strength, peace, and certainty that is your right by the will of Allah. Chosen one, listen closely, for this truth is both your comfort and your honor. You have survived storms that would have shattered even the strongest hearts, yet through it all, your faith remained unbroken, your trust in Allah unwavering, and your spirit intact. And the world may never know the depth of what you endured or the silent battles you fought in the hidden corners of your life. There were moments when betrayal cut deep, when loss felt unbearable, when hope seemed distant, and the weight of despair pressed upon you like a mountain. Yet even in those darkest nights, when your heart trembled and your eyes searched the heavens for a sign, you did not turn away from the one who controls all destinies. You did not abandon prayer, and you did not let bitterness consume your soul. For deep within, a light guided you, the light of unwavering belief, of knowing that Allah's wisdom surpasses what you can comprehend, and that every trial is not punishment but a test, a divine refining of your heart, a preparation for elevation, a shaping of your character to carry responsibilities, blessings, and honor that the world could never provide. You endured the whispers of doubt, the shadows of envy, the isolation that comes when others cannot comprehend your journey, and through it all, you held firm. You chose patience over despair, surrender over rebellion, and faith over fear. And even when you felt weak, you were strong in ways unseen, passing tests that were invisible to those around you, earning rewards that only Allah can measure. And now, this survival is a testimony to your resilience, a reflection of your divine selection, and a reminder that storms are never meant to destroy the chosen ones, but to reveal them, to elevate them, and to prepare them for the immense blessings that await. So, when you look back at what you thought you could not bear, remember that every trial was a sign of your greatness, every hardship a mark of your chosen status, and every moment of endurance a proof that you survived not by chance, not by luck, but by the strength Allah placed within your heart. And this, beloved one, is the first lesson of the unseen test you have passed, without even knowing that surviving the storm without losing faith is not just perseverance. It is victory, it is elevation, and it is the beginning of a reward that will follow you for eternity. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply. For every hardship, every closed door, every disappointment, and every moment of silence in your life was never meaningless, and it was never random. Each trial, no matter how painful or confusing, was a divine tool of preparation, a molding of your heart and spirit for something far greater than what you can yet perceive. And though at times you may have questioned why the burdens were placed upon you, why the nights seemed endless, and why the world appeared to turn against you, know that Allah, in His infinite wisdom, does not test the chosen ones without purpose, and He does not delay blessings without reason. For each challenge you endured was a seed planted by the most merciful to cultivate patience, resilience, sincerity, and an unwavering connection to Him. And every moment of struggle was a classroom in which your soul was being trained to carry responsibilities, blessings, and missions that the ordinary cannot bear. So while the world judged your journey as misfortune, setbacks, or failures, Allah was quietly shaping you for a destiny of unmatched greatness, equipping you with wisdom that only hardship can forge, with compassion that only suffering can teach, and with insight that only trials can illuminate. The moments when you felt isolated, misunderstood, or abandoned were in fact the times when Allah was closest, quietly strengthening your heart, purifying your intentions, and preparing your spirit for the higher purpose that awaits you. And though you may not see the results yet, every hardship has planted a divine seed that will bloom at the perfect moment, revealing blessings, opportunities, and achievements that the world could never have provided. And this is why the chosen ones are never broken by trials. For the storms are not there to destroy them, but to lift them, to awaken latent strengths, and to ensure that when their time arrives, they step into it fully prepared, fully fortified, and fully aligned with the divine decree. So take heart, beloved one, because every test you faced, every moment of doubt or fear, every heartbreak, and every silent struggle was Allah's hand shaping you for the unimaginable greatness that is already written for you. And this is the second lesson. Your trials were never punishments. They were divine preparations for something far beyond what you could have imagined. And now, the stage is set, the blessings are ready, and your destiny is approaching, perfectly timed, perfectly designed, and divinely guided. Chosen one, know this truth with unwavering certainty. The strength that carried you through your trials, the power that kept you standing when everything around you crumbled, and the resilience that allowed you to remain patient, steadfast, and faithful in the face of what seemed impossible, is far greater than what the world could ever measure or even imagine. For Allah does not place extraordinary trials before ordinary hearts, and the challenges you survived, often in silence, were not meant to display your strength to others, but to reveal it to your soul and to the heavens. And every act of courage that went unnoticed, every moment of resistance against despair, every choice to forgive when anger could have consumed you, and every instance of humility when pride whispered in your ear, was a demonstration of a hidden fortitude that now defines you. And it is this very hidden strength that makes you unstoppable, chosen one, because it is not dependent on circumstance, recognition, or applause. It is a divine force granted by Allah, cultivated through hardship, polished through trials, and fortified through sincere faith. And though the world may underestimate you, dismiss you, or fail to recognize your true power, Allah has already marked you as extraordinary, as a beacon of resilience, and as a chosen vessel for the tasks only the truly prepared can undertake. And this is why even when fear, doubt, or opposition arise, your spirit remains unshakable, your heart remains anchored in divine trust, and your actions continue to reflect a courage that no one can replicate, for it is a strength drawn directly from the Almighty, tempered in silence, and hidden from those who do not see the unseen. And now, beloved one, as you look back on the storms you endured, the betrayals you survived, and the moments that felt insurmountable, know this: what you perceive as mere endurance was, in fact, a demonstration of immense divine power, a power that will carry you forward, elevate you beyond what you imagined, and allow you to achieve heights that only the chosen are destined to reach. And this is the third lesson, that your strength, though hidden, is immense, unstoppable, and divinely ordained. And it is this strength that will continue to guide, protect, and uplift you as Allah fulfills what He has written for your life. Chosen one, hear this with unwavering clarity. In a world that applauds the loud, rewards the visible, and praises those who make their strength known, you have been silently enduring, quietly persevering, and patiently carrying burdens that few could even comprehend. And yet Allah, the all-knowing, the all-seer, has been recording every moment, every breath, every pause, and every restraint. For He does not measure the value of your actions by the eyes of the world, but by the sincerity, the steadfastness, and the devotion of your heart. Every tear you held back, every sigh you breathed in the stillness of the night, every whispered prayer that trembled from your lips when despair seemed near, and every moment when you chose patience over outcry, humility over pride, and submission over argument, has not been in vain. It has been a testament to your faith, a mark of your resilience, and a demonstration of the divine strength that flows within you. For silence, when chosen with intention, is not emptiness. It is armor. It is power. It is a fortress that protects your soul from the distractions of the world, from the traps of pride, and from the consequences of rashness. And it is also a sacred act that purifies your heart, strengthens your spirit, and elevates your soul in ways the eyes cannot see, the ears cannot hear, and the mind cannot fully grasp. The moments when your heart longed to speak, when your mind begged for explanation, and when the world misjudged your patience, you did not falter, you did not act out of anger or fear, and you did not allow the whispers of bitterness or revenge to guide your hand, because you understood, perhaps without fully realizing it, that Allah sees what others do not, that the heavens record what the world ignores, and that the silence chosen by a heart aligned with divine guidance is far more powerful than any words spoken in haste, any reaction made in pride, or any display of strength for the sake of recognition. And so every time you bore injustice without complaint, forgave when forgiveness was difficult, restrained yourself when the world expected outrage, and trusted in divine timing even when it seemed delayed, you were passing tests that no one could perceive, demonstrating a character that is rare, precious, and beloved to Allah, and your silent endurance has been crafting a reward that is invisible to human eyes, but immense in the sight of the Almighty. A reward that will manifest in blessings, opportunities, protection, and elevation beyond imagination. And it is this quiet perseverance that separates the chosen ones from the ordinary. For while others seek validation from the world, you sought it from Allah, and in doing so, you became part of a sacred tradition, a lineage of souls who understand that the unseen is greater than the seen, that patience surpasses impulse, and that true strength is measured not by noise or recognition, but by the heart's ability to endure without complaint, to forgive without expectation, and to trust without hesitation. Beloved one, reflect on every moment you chose silence over words, restraint over reaction, faith over frustration, and submission over control, and know that each of these moments has been counted, multiplied, and rewarded in ways beyond measure, because Allah honors the unseen, rewards the hidden, and elevates those who are steadfast when no one is watching. And this is why the chosen ones are often misunderstood, underestimated, and overlooked, not because they are weak, but because their strength is invisible, their victories are quiet, and their patience is sacred. And now, your silence is becoming a treasure, a fortress, and a source of divine favor that will protect you, guide you, and bless you. For even in the moments when it seemed that nothing was happening, when it felt that the world was indifferent to your endurance, Allah was recording, rewarding, and preparing blessings for you in ways so vast, so profound, and so eternal that no worldly measure could ever capture them. And this is the fourth lesson, that even silence, when guided by trust in Allah, obedience to His will, and steadfast faith, is not empty, not wasted, and not overlooked, but is a powerful, sacred, and divinely rewarded act. And the chosen ones, through their quiet patience, are already receiving the blessings they have earned without even realizing it, and will continue to receive them in ways that will transform their lives, their missions, and their souls in the light of Allah's eternal mercy. Chosen one, understand this with every fiber of your being. The trials, hardships, and challenges that have crossed your path were never random, they were never meaningless, and they were never placed upon you by chance. Each test you faced, every obstacle that seemed insurmountable, and every moment of difficulty that weighed heavily upon your heart, was in truth a reflection, a mirror, and a divine revelation of the state of your soul. For Allah, in His infinite wisdom, does not measure the chosen by their outward success, wealth, or worldly recognition, but by the purity of their intentions, the resilience of their heart, and the alignment of their soul with His will. And so when hardship arrived, it revealed to you what lay within the depths of your patience, the strength of your faith, the sincerity of your trust, and the steadfastness of your character. And in moments when the world judged you, misunderstood you, or even sought to harm you, your reactions, your choices, and your inner responses became the true measure of who you are in the eyes of Allah. Consider every instance when betrayal, injustice, or adversity struck. Did your heart cling to bitterness, or did it rise in forgiveness? Did your soul surrender to despair, or did it remain anchored in divine trust? Every thought, every impulse, and every response was observed, weighed, and recorded. And in doing so, your trials were reflecting not your weakness, but the areas where your soul needed refinement, purification, and elevation. For no chosen one is tested beyond what they can bear. Yet every test is crafted precisely to expose the truth within, to challenge your limitations, and to reveal your readiness for the blessings that await. And even when the mirror showed cracks, moments of doubt, fear, or fatigue, these were not failures but opportunities, lessons from Allah to strengthen your inner state, to cleanse your heart, and to prepare your spirit for a destiny that demands unwavering faith and unshakable resilience. Think of the times when people's words hurt you, when injustice struck, or when the world seemed cold and unresponsive. These reflections were not punishments, but mirrors showing you the depth of your own intentions, the strength of your character, and the level of your trust in Allah. And every time you chose patience over reaction, forgiveness over revenge, and sincerity over hypocrisy, you passed a test that no one else could see, a test that was invisible to the eyes of the world, but luminous in the sight of Allah. And these reflections have been shaping you, refining you, and preparing you to step into the roles, responsibilities, and missions that the chosen ones are destined for, because only a heart purified through reflection and trial can carry the weight of divine purpose. Only a soul tested in adversity can lead with wisdom, and only one who has passed the mirror of their inner state can recognize the blessings hidden within the trials. And now, beloved one, as you look back on the storms you endured, the betrayals you survived, and the loneliness that often accompanied your path, realize that each moment was not simply a challenge to endure, but a sacred mirror held before your soul by Allah, showing you what needed to be strengthened, purified, and aligned. And this is the fifth lesson. Your tests were never meaningless, they were never random, and they were never punishment. They were reflections of your inner state, divine instruments of growth, and the very tools that have prepared you for the greatness, mercy, and blessings that Allah has already written for you. And by passing them, often without realizing it, you have proven that your heart, your soul, and your faith are strong enough to carry the weight of the destiny that only the chosen can fulfill. Chosen one, hear this with every fiber of your being, for it is a truth so powerful, so profound, that it can transform the way you perceive every trial, every hardship, and every moment that felt like waiting. Your reward, the blessings that Allah has prepared for you, has never been late, has never been forgotten, and has never been withheld, for Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows the perfect timing of every event in your life, and He orchestrates every trial and every victory according to what your soul is ready to receive. And though at times it may have felt as if the world was moving too slowly, as if doors remained closed, as if your prayers were unanswered, understand that these pauses, these delays, and these moments of silence were never meant to punish you, but to prepare you, to elevate you, and to align your heart, your soul, and your destiny with the immense blessings that were already written for you in the heavens. For Allah does not act in haste, and He does not give before the heart is ready, before the soul is prepared, and before the reward can be received in the fullness of its divine impact. And so every hardship you faced, every betrayal, every loss, every moment of confusion or despair was in fact a carefully placed step along a path of preparation. For in the silence, in the waiting, and in the struggle, your heart was learning patience, your faith was deepening, your trust in Allah was being fortified, and your soul was being purified. And the delays, though invisible to human eyes, were the sacred timing of divine orchestration, ensuring that when the reward arrives, it arrives not merely as compensation, but as fulfillment, elevation, and transformation. For Allah's timing is flawless, His wisdom is infinite, and His plans are perfect. And every moment of waiting was designed to maximize the blessing, the insight, the spiritual growth, and the capacity of your heart to fully embrace what is coming, so that when the doors open, when the reward manifests, and when the blessings flow, you receive them not only with gratitude, but with readiness, clarity, and alignment, because the waiting was the divine preparation for the reception, the shaping of your character for the fullness of the gift, and the molding of your soul for the responsibilities that come with it. Beloved chosen one, consider every time you felt delayed, overlooked, or misunderstood, every night when you lay awake, wondering why your prayers seemed unanswered, every moment when the world moved ahead without you, and every situation where it felt like the reward would never arrive. Know this: it was never late, it was never absent, and it was never denied, because Allah's timing is perfect, and He sees what no one else sees, understands what no one else comprehends, and prepares what no one else can foresee. And the reward that has been patiently waiting for you is already aligned with your readiness, already written in the heavens, and already flowing toward you in ways the human mind cannot measure, the human eye cannot detect, and the human heart cannot fully grasp. For it is a reward beyond imagination, a blessing beyond worldly comparison, and a mercy beyond comprehension. And this is why patience, trust, and unwavering faith are not mere virtues, but keys to unlocking what Allah has prepared, because the chosen ones are never denied, never overlooked, and never abandoned. And the delays they experience are not punishments, but precise calibrations of divine timing that ensure the fullness of blessing, the elevation of status, and the perfection of reward. And so, rejoice, beloved one, even in the waiting, even in the silence, even in the uncertainty, because your reward is not lost, it is not delayed, it is not diminished, it is being perfectly timed by the eternal King, and when it arrives, it will arrive in its full measure, surpassing all expectations, fulfilling all prayers, and honoring every moment you have endured, waited, and trusted in Allah's wisdom. And this is the sixth lesson: your reward was never delayed, it was never forgotten, and it was never denied. It was always being perfectly timed, perfectly prepared, and divinely orchestrated to elevate, bless, and transform you in ways the heavens themselves rejoice over. For the chosen ones are not merely patients in trials, but recipients of a destiny that unfolds at the perfect moment, under the perfect decree, and through the perfect wisdom of Allah, the all-knowing, the all-wise, the most merciful, and the most just. Chosen one, hear this truth with unwavering clarity, for it is the final, most powerful reminder of your journey. Every tear you have shed, every silent prayer you have whispered, every moment of struggle that felt unseen, and every act of patience that went unnoticed by the world, has been recorded by Allah. the all-knowing, the all-seeing, and the most merciful, and your efforts, no matter how small they seem to you or insignificant they appeared to others, have been recognized, preserved, and honored in ways beyond human comprehension. For Allah does not measure success by applause, recognition, or worldly acknowledgement, but by sincerity of intention, steadfastness of faith, and unwavering trust in His plan. And so, even when you doubted your path, questioned your purpose, or wondered if your prayers were being answered, know that every struggle was a seed planted in the heavens, a step in the divine orchestration of your destiny, and a preparation for the rewards that are already written for you, unfolding in perfect timing, in perfect measure, and in perfect accordance with Allah's wisdom. Consider the countless moments when you faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable, challenges that tested every part of your heart and soul, and opposition that appeared overwhelming. Yet despite it all, you continued, persevered, and remained faithful, for your resilience was not dependent on human validation, but on your connection to Allah, the Eternal King. And it is this connection that ensured your success was already certain, even before the first step of your journey was taken, and even before the first test arrived. Beloved one, understand that the world may misinterpret your silence, undervalue your efforts, and overlook your endurance, but Allah sees, and His vision encompasses all things, visible and invisible, past, present, and future, and the divine recognition of your actions guarantees a reward that surpasses anything the world could offer. For what is hidden from human eyes is never hidden from the one who is the source of all knowledge, wisdom, and mercy. And the victories that are destined for the chosen ones are secured not by their own strength alone, but by the alignment of their hearts with Allah's will, by the purification of their intentions, and by the constancy of their faith in the unseen. And so every test you passed, every hardship you endured, and every act of patience you performed was a step toward a success that was never in doubt, a success that was written in the heavens before you were born, and a reward that is unfolding even now in ways you may not yet perceive. Yet it is as real and as powerful as the stars that light the night sky, as enduring as the mountains, and as vast as the oceans. And this is why despair, doubt, and fear have no place in the heart of the chosen. For when Allah sees effort, when intention is sincere, and when trust is unwavering, success is not just possible, it is certain, guaranteed, and divinely ordained. And every moment of struggle becomes a testimony to your perseverance. Every act of faith becomes a monument to your character, and every silent endurance becomes a beacon of light for others who will follow the path you are paving. For the chosen ones are not only recipients of divine reward, but also living proofs of the power of faith, the certainty of divine justice, and the majesty of Allah's plan. And, as you reflect on your journey, know this: you are not a survivor of trials by chance, you are not a wanderer in darkness by accident, and you are not a struggler in vain. You are a chosen soul, seen by Allah, guided by Him, and destined for success that is already secured, already guaranteed, and already celebrated in the heavens. For nothing you endured, nothing you sacrificed, and nothing you persevered through has been overlooked, forgotten, or wasted. And this is the seventh and final lesson. Allah sees your efforts. Your success is already certain, and the rewards, blessings, and elevation you have earned are flowing toward you now, perfectly timed, perfectly ordained, and perfectly aligned with the divine wisdom of the most merciful, the all-knowing, and the all-wise. And nothing, no power, no force, and no opposition in this world or the next can prevent what Allah has destined for you, chosen one, because when He sees effort, sincerity, and faith, success becomes inevitable, and victory becomes eternal. Chosen one, as you reflect on these 7 powerful lessons, let your heart absorb this truth. Every trial you faced, Every silent struggle, every tear held back, every act of patience, and every moment of unwavering faith was never wasted. It was preparing you, elevating you, and proving that you are among the ones Allah has chosen for greatness. You have passed tests that the world could not even see, and now, even if it has gone unnoticed by human eyes, your reward is already flowing from the heavens, perfectly timed, perfectly measured, and divinely ordained. Remember that Allah sees every effort, every sacrifice, and every sincere intention, and your success is already certain. So walk forward with courage, with patience, and with the unshakable faith that nothing can stop what Allah has written for you. Let this knowledge fill your heart with peace, your soul with certainty, and your life with purpose. For the storms you endured were not to break you, but to strengthen you. The delays were not to harm you, but to prepare you, and the tests were not to punish you, but to reveal your true strength. Chosen one, you are seen, you are honored, and you are destined for blessings that exceed imagination. So rise, move with faith, and embrace the life Allah has prepared for you, because the journey does not end here. It is only the beginning of a future filled with divine favor, unimaginable victories, and eternal success. Always remember, you have passed a major test without even knowing it, and the reward you are about to receive is beyond anything the world can offer, for it comes from the one who never forgets, never overlooks, and never fails. Allah, the All-Knowing, the Most Merciful, the Most Just. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.